I thought the Inquisition was battling the Imperium.
What? Why would that happen? If Tevinter invaded us, I think we'd know.
It's not an invasion. Cultists and the like. But I highly doubt the one in the Inquisition is like that.
Darkness comes upon me. I shall embrace the light. I shall weather.
What happened here?
And where is the merchant we intended to meet?
It seems Vicinius angered Calpurnia by sending her mistreated slaves.
Was that mercy or anger at damaged stock?
She was paying a fortune for literate slaves.
But she has the Venatori. Unless... Perhaps dear Calpurnia has something she wishes to hide.
An invoice for a shipment of slaves.
A Tevinter slaver. How novel.
That must have been Vicinius.
I see Calpurnia sent Venatori to deal with him.
Let's look around. A shattered crystal. Let's find the pieces. Here's another one. The crystal's whole again, but... hold on.
Lady Calpurnia, I had no intention.
I warned you of consequences should the slaves you bring me suffer in your care. Venatori, show him my displeasure.
No! Wait! Wait!
Crystals that remember your words. That's crazy Vint magic.
The sounds came from the crystal. We should show Leliana.
Someone emptied a whole bag of turnips into the fire. Ah, Maker, the smell is everywhere. I was going to use them for dinner and then... God, who took them?
Your trip to the merchant's home yielded results. Before she became leader of the Venatori, Calpurnia was a slave from Minrathous. Even slaves with magic are treated unkindly in Tevinter. If Corypheus freed her, no wonder she follows him.
What else does her past reveal?
It haunts her. Calpurnia has freed every slave she's purchased. Vicinius tracked his shipments. My agents will investigate. This may lead us to Calpurnia's lair. And this crystal you found is fascinating. An arcanist may unravel its mysteries. Did you see the message I sent?
Yes, thank you. If you require any help finding this woman who leads the Venatori, I do keep contacts in Tevinter.
Thank you, but I must involve as few people as possible. Calpurnia has a gift for ferreting out spies close to her door.
Inquisitor?
The Arcanist has arrived.
You should see for yourself.
Hello there. Well, don't just stand there slack-jawed. Let's figure out what you need. This is an amazing find, Inquisitor. The Shaperid in Orzammar had something like it.
Greetings to you too, Dagna.
They preserve voices, or a likeness, memories, you know? You don't know. Doesn't matter. The Venatori cracked it, but here...
These documents you found, Inquisitor, I've made interesting... discoveries.
Have no fear, demon.
But the power will draw them unless you have wards against possession.
Once you have become the vessel, demons will be beneath your concern. Prepare as I have directed.
I shall, Elder One.
Sod it. Oh, sorry. The crystal couldn't take anymore. Wasn't meant for this.
That looked like Corypheus and Calpurnia.
It was a memory stored in the crystal.
No, that was vital information. Did you see Calpurnia's expression? Their alliance may be less than harmonious.
Corypheus said Calpurnia was going to be a vessel. A vessel for what?
They spoke of power and demons. But Calpurnia is already a magister. Corypheus must have some other plan.
All that for a fragment of conversation.
Well, I'm no shaper, but I might be able to get it to remember new sounds.
Really? If we hid it among Calpurnia's belongings, imagine what we could learn.
I can split it and keep half here. We could hear her speaking right then. It's not how they're supposed to work, and it'll probably break. As I said, I'm no shaper.
Inquisitor, Calpurnia's Venatori have been digging up elven ruins. Tracking them might lead us to her. If this crystal were placed in a lair, I cannot overstate the value of what we might learn.
Why not attack Calpurnia head-on?
You attract attention, Inquisitor. Her spies would see you coming. A single agent may slip in and out without notice. This crystal may yield great rewards.
Dagna, do whatever it takes to get that crystal ready.
Right.
If there's a rift growing between Corypheus and Calpurnia, we must exploit it.
I'll have the crystal ready soon. I think. Let me find the Quicksilver.
You're the magical advisor.
You're him. The Inquisitor. I'm Dagna. Arcanist Dagna. It's an honor, your worship. Is that it? The hand anchor mark? It's pretty. The breach was pretty too, in a destroy everything sort of way.
If you know your business, let's get to it.
Oh, I do. Of course, that depends on what you need. I've looked at Herod's devices. Precision is fantastic, but typical. Mundane. Old thinking. No disrespect meant to the classical trades, but you need a new perspective. I mean, crystals? That talk? Creepy. I need a few things and people and whatnots. It's hard to explain, but get me the resources and I'll deliver.
I need results. You better be able to provide them.
Don't you worry. There's nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough. You'll have all my efforts, for the cause and the furthering of knowledge. That'll show everyone. Mind your step for things, Inquisitor.
What is it you do exactly?
I was born to the forge. That's literal in the Smithcast. So the hammer and tong, that's like a heartbeat. But you've a man for that already, and a good one. I'm here because of my passion for magic. Magical study, magical theory, magical enchantment, and through it, the manipulation of masterworks. I studied it all with an objective eye. No secrets, no fears. That lets me apply principles like no other. Maybe one other, but I don't have that wonky of a mind, so I still kinda win.
You have the ability to make exceptional weapons and armor. Masterworks.
There's an art to the forge, as well as enchanting. You need an ear for it. And hands. Eyes, too. Nothing bad to say about Herod on that front. He's wonderful. But there's this little more needed. With the right bits, an edge can be more than an edge. Armor can do more than protect. A hue can be just a bit brighter. In short, smithing can be more. In short.
What's the story with enchanting?
Lyria is the heart. In certain rational patterns, it beats like something alive. That's how I see it. So, a mage can make your weapons do things, but with the right runes, the right rarities, your toys become wonders. It's the one thing mages can't do. Drives them mad. Literally. Dwarves are resistant, so it doesn't affect us. Mostly.
Another time, Dagna.
Of course. Bring me what you want made, and I'll make sure it goes just right. Ready for anything, Inquisitor.
Where does a dwarf go to study magical theory?
Get out. I asked myself that question for years. Turns out, not in Orsmar. I had to start at a circle. I had to fight to do it. Everyone said I couldn't. Everyone. I swept floors and libraries, traded runes for tomes. I met outsiders like me, new thinkers. If there's something to know about magic, I'll find it. There's no barriers to what magic can do, Inquisitor, no matter what they say.
You were quick to join the Inquisition. Is there something you want?
How could I waste a chance to get close to you? And Corypheus, my goodness. And actual physical rifts in the Veil. Also, dwarves, we don't dream. So, when mages talk about it, I can only, well, dream what it would be like. So there's that, and all the things you'll probably find, and what I'll get to make. Rules are different here. Plus, you're paying me a lot. Like, wow, so much.
What qualifies you to be an arcanist?
I took the title because I'm a magical researcher, philosopher, and master of practical application. And I like it. I can't actually do magic because I'm a dwarf, but that also means no risk of possession. Safer than a mage. It means that every skill I have, I've learned through reason and understanding. Coming from the Smithcast, I know the value of mastering craft. Did you know dwarves invented enchanting? Probably.
You seemed impressed by the anchor. What does it look like to you?
I heard what everyone says what you heard Corypheus say. It's a long chain of who said what. To me, it says key. But keys do a lot of things. Open, lock, switch. Some open one thing, some open everything. It sounds like Corypheus made it to open. But it looks like you can use it to close. It may be that simple. It sure is pretty. Wish I could see through it.
Dagna, show me what you can do.
Do you want fire? The first ask is always fire. It's fire, isn't it? Here's how it goes. Bring me the rare stuff for enchanting or masterworks and prep it here, just like normal. Except it's not normal. It's manipulation of primal forces. And I'll make sure it goes just right. You'll see. They'll all see. Mind your step for things, Inquisitor.
Dagna, show me what you can do.
Here's how it goes. Except...
bit cold in here, don't you think?
We are in the mountains.
I'm more concerned about everything scattering whenever there's a draft.
Inquisitor?
Have we smuggled the other memory crystal into Calpurnia's camp?
We have. Here.
Ugh. Even honey can't sweeten philandris. I'll keep trying. You are no slave, Linnea. I'll add another spoonful myself, later.
What have you learned so far?
While I found that interesting, this is what you must hear.
Master, forgive me. I didn't expect.
The time for your ascension nears. Tell me of your preparation.
They go well enough, although I'm distracted here. If I could train at the shrine.
Only Dumat's faithful may enter. Continue as before. Or would you see the Imperium's reverse stalled by your lack of focus?
I will be ready, as the vessel, and to Vinter's champion.
How much training does becoming the vessel involve?
Another deflection. Why, a dwarf bauble, as if mine was miraculously returned to me. Let's give your new owner a glimpse of his fate. Venatori, we leave!
That is all the crystal recorded before she found it. But I think it may be enough. A shrine to Dumat, Corypheus said. Where Calpurnia is forbidden to go.
Who is this Dumat that Corypheus mentioned?
An old god, worshipped in ancient Tevinter as the Dragon of Silence. He was the first to rise as an archdemon and bring the blight. Truly a god fit for Corypheus.
If that shrine is Corypheus's inner sanctum, I want in.
Perhaps he believes the shrine is sacred. More likely, he's hiding something from Calpurnia, and she suspects it. Let us investigate this shrine carefully. I doubt Corypheus has left it unguarded.
So this is the shrine Corypheus hid from Calpurnia.
It is far, far too quiet.
A shrine to one of the old gods. Few still exist.
Seems deserted, but they always seem deserted.
Samson has failed, but Calpurnia stands ready.
More crystals. And a bad guy who likes to talk to himself. This should be good.
Stolen by a stripling. I shall descend on this haven with fire and fury and take it back. Let us see what manner of herald this age has bred. I recited the old verses, how easily they come even after so long a slumber. Yet still I do not feel the presence of Dumat. Hear no whispers, no commands, silence has fallen. A slave girl who burned with potential, ignored by all save myself. Her master did not see it. No one saw it. The world has gone craven and blind.
light the burner, add a teaspoon of cinnabar. He came down in fire and splendor. Chapter 9, verse 1.
That's a spell of containment, a powerful one.
What is this? Who are you?
Maese Erasthenes am I, a scholar of Tevinter. To Corypheus I am bound to answer every question. For Yersianius' sake, I am lost.
In that case, tell me everything you know about Corypheus.
I was the greatest scholar of the old gods in Minrathus. No, in the Imperium. One night, he came to my door. For my relics, I thought, my writings and runes. But instead, my slave went to his side, Calpurnia, to become the vessel and save Tevinter.
If Calpurnia's this vessel, what are the contents going to be?
I do not know. Power. It must be some sort of power. Power like Erthemiel's, risen in flame and...
Is that why Calpurnia joined Corypheus? To save your empire?
Yes, she seeks a leader, Corypheus, to shape Tevinter's rebirth. She would raise up the slaves as she was raised. Bring a new order with a heart of steel. She could do it if she were not the vessel.
If Calpurnia's the one Corypheus wanted, why do this to you?
For practice. Corypheus crafts a vessel for whatever power he seeks, yes. But he does not need his vessel to have free will. About her, these same chains will fall. Iron to cage lightning. My binding is the poor pencil sketch. Calpurnia will be the masterpiece.
Corypheus couldn't risk Calpurnia's spies bringing her the truth.
No fool he, nor she. Oh, this chain has broken me, friend. No wings can raise my mind. Please, breach the circle. Its wards will trigger. I will be dust and light, free.
Or it will kill us. Corypheus is not above placing such a trap.
Corypheus' circle will hold its destruction within. Tight, tight. No fear, only freedom.
I can't waste your knowledge. Leliana should question you. My agents will secure this place. Maybe they can undo that circle somehow.
You would make of me what he makes of Calpurnia. What shall I make of that?
The reports from our agents at the shrine are intriguing. You were correct. Once Calpurnia becomes the vessel, she will lose her freedom. We are interrogating this Magister Erasthenes. We may learn more from him.
Remind your agents. One careless move, and our resource could go up in smoke.
Only my best are working on this, Inquisitor. Corypheus's notes mention a place where regret dwells. That is more of a mystery. Until the notes are deciphered, I intend rumors of the binding ritual to reach Calpurnia's ears.
Why waste time with rumors? Warn her.
We are the enemy, Inquisitor. She suspects Corypheus, but she knows we work against her. Breaching his sanctum might give Corypheus pause, yet Calpurnia is silent, as are her agents. We have given her something to think about. Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
The Divine's death hit you hard. How have you been feeling?
Oh, you are referring to my outburst in the Haven. I am much better now. Justinia was such a dear friend, and there were so many things going wrong.
Let's just move on. It's best that way.
You're right, Inquisitor.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
They called you the left hand of the Divine.
That they did? What of it?
I'd like to hear about Justinia. What was she like?
A friend. A mentor. Like me, she had secrets, made mistakes. It made her human. I think her followers responded to that.
Was there something more than friendship between you?
You're asking if we were lovers? Typical. I was devoted to her, therefore it must be romantic. Love is common. Love is simple. My bond with Justinia was something greater. She was a sister, a mother, a teacher. So to answer your question, yes, it was more than friendship.
How did you and Justinia meet?
I met her a long time ago, before she became divine. Before she was Justinia. When I met her, she was Mother Dorothea. I was at my lowest. Broken, lost. And she saved me. No, wait. She hates it when I say that. I saved myself. She just showed me it was possible.
We'll talk more later.
It seems Blackwall knows nothing about the disappearance of the Grey Wardens. It's a disappointment. I am, however, glad that he is with us, even if he was not what I expected. He seems to be a good man, and his experience will be an asset to the Inquisition. As for the other Wardens, I suppose we will have to keep looking.
Let's talk about you.
Me?
Bards tell tales. I bet you tell some good ones.
There are plenty of tales in the library. Perhaps you should look for them there.
What did you do before you worked for the Divine?
I was a bard, an Orlesian spy for many years. For a time I also served a small cloister in Lothering. After the Blight, the Divine called on me to oversee her personal network.
Can you teach me to be a bard?
Being a bard is so much more than being a spy. It involves a keen understanding of politics. The ebb and flow of influence, the great game. The Bards is an intricate dance where a smile can be sharper than any dagger. The best way to learn is to immerse yourself in it. Perhaps when this is all over, I'll teach you.
I should leave you to your work.
We can always talk later. The Templars will be an asset to this Inquisition. It's a shame we couldn't also get the mages on our side.
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
You have a history with the Warden who ended the Blight, don't you?
The hero of Ferelden. There are no heroes in real life. Just people. And people can do terrible things. Like striking me down, for example. It's hard not to bear a grudge.
They say you spent some time in Lothering. Did you know the champion?
We spoke a few times. I seldom left the Chantry, and we never became more than casual acquaintances. I saw more of the Hawk twins. Bethany in particular. She would spend time in meditation at the Chantry, and she seemed to like my stories. The other one, the young man, he was a little surly. I did encounter the champion again later in Kirkwall. Those were terrible times.
Was this when the Chantry was destroyed?
No, that happened later. But even then, the news coming out of Kirkwall was disheartening. There were some in Royeaux who wanted the Divine to declare an exalted march on Kirkwall. Justina sent me there to see if that could be avoided, to gather evidence to calm those agitating for war. I guess it didn't matter in the end.
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am. At your service, my lord.
I'll leave you to your work.